Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Chris and Amanda Show. We're really happy that you can all hang out with us for a little bit today and spend some of your precious, precious time listening to our show, talking about music and rating songs as if we know what we're talking about. I don't
There,
know.
there it is. There it is. Our obnoxious show that's full of fun and laughter. Well, at least we think so. Yeah, pretending like we know exactly what we're doing.
Right. We pretend that we know what we're talking about as if we know everything there is to know about music. Well, guess what, everybody? We do not. We just enjoy talking about music, and we're so glad you could hang out with us all today. Thank you.
Oh, maybe one day we'll be the Siskel and Ebert of music.
Of music, you think so?
I mean, maybe. I'm a big daydream believer, so
I
let's
like
just
this.
wish it up.
I like this. Let's mark the date. Let's note the date that you
Sep-
predicted that we would become the Siskel and Ebert of music.
September 19th,
Yeah.
2022. So, come 2035, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I want to welcome all our friends who are watching us live right now. Thank you all so much for choosing to spend your Monday morning with us, as we do every single Monday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd like to hang out with us live, if you're listening to the replay of this and you can get up on a Monday morning, well, we ask that you do that and hang out with us. You can watch us over on Facebook and Twitch live. And of course, you can watch all the replays over on our YouTube channel and listen to the show wherever you get podcasts. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail and participate in the show, let us know how we're doing. Agree, disagree, have something to say other than just writing it in the comments section on YouTube or somewhere like that, which is fine. We
Fine.
appreciate that. But if you want to actually have your voice really be heard and get on the show, you can do that by calling 973-506-8009. 973-506-8009. And if you're calling outside of the United States, you want to hit that +1 so that way you can get through and leave us a voicemail and we will play it here on the air. And another thing too, Amanda Sharp, is that we do have a Spotify playlist, right? So everybody's always like, where can I hear all these songs and all that? And since we started the show back last year, we've always kept a playlist of all the songs that we talk about. So, and we've actually separated them out. So if you want to hear like 1,000 hours of music, you can go over to Spotify and search for the Chris and Amanda Show playlist. We have a 2021 playlist and a 2022 playlist. So that way you can hear all the songs that we do talk about on the show in one place. You can also use the link in the show notes as well as the video description, depending on where you're listening or watching to this, and access that link anytime. You listen to the music, listen to the songs that we're talking about.
There's something.
And if you want to be so bold as to just throw the entire playlist on, I highly recommend just throwing it on shuffle because it's really like Russian roulette. It's like amazing. You don't know what you're gonna get.
You don't. And yeah, I'd be curious to see everyone's version of skipping if they do that.
Yeah, I'd love to see the tolerance level on the skippage. Like, do people give it like 10 to 20 seconds, or do they try to like get into it and go, let me just understand this a little bit before I hit skip?
Absolutely.
Or they just go bold and like whatever happens, whatever comes on, I'm listening to. I'm listening to it.
May the force be with you if you do that, because it is a diverse
It is
group of songs.
It is a diverse group of songs. I would love, though, this would be something cool. So for everybody that's listening, listens to the show out there, I would love to know if there was any new music that you discovered from that playlist. Like, was there a band or song on there that you like, oh, I've never heard this before, and like I totally fell in love with this song, or even the ones that you're like, oh my God, I can't even believe you guys even listened to this one. I think that would be really cool. So let us know. Let us know in the comments section. Call the voicemail line at 973-506-8009, or send us an email at the Chris and Amanda Show at gmail.com, because we would love to hear from you. Or throw us something on socials. Over on Instagram at the Chris and Amanda Show, or TikTok at the Chris and Amanda Show.
All the places.
All the places. Show. Yes, absolutely. So before we dive into the whole show, I'm going to throw it over to my awesome co-host, Amanda Sharp, because if this is your first time ever listening to the Chris and Amanda Show and you're just discovering us, we do have a format. It's not a crazy format, but I'm going to let Amanda explain to you how our little show works.
And if you've been here a long time, forgive us for constantly talking about this, but it's an important part of our show. So if you're here for the first time, how it works, Chris sends me 3 songs, I send Chris 3 songs, and we rate them on a very magical and complicated scale of 1 to 5 records.
Magical.
1 being wah wah wah. Hit me up, Chris. There we are. And then 5 being musical, like amazingness, and it's on Angels Are Singing, and it's on our playlist forever. And they're just, we've had plentiful 5 records. I think
We have
2 seasons into this, I still am, I think, a little surprised how many 5 records we've actually had. Some that were never on our radar before, and had we not done the show, we wouldn't be listening to these songs. So I just love the format of this song. I think it really has given both of us like some new listening, and new playlists, and it's just fun.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I will say 100% that doing this show has absolutely, I've discovered a lot of new music, a lot of new artists, and I've opened up my outlook. I don't know what to say. It's opened up a little bit more, especially in the world of country, which I would never claim to be a country fan, but I will say that there are songs that I've been like, wow, that's cool, that's interesting, and like I think I get into the artist a little bit more now.
Speaking of country, my list to you this week, very heavy
Woo!
country, and I'll like
lot of twang.
a lot of twang. And for our repeat listeners, they'll know occasionally I test the waters with Chris, and I just send him just some songs because I want to see where his country like threshold is.
Where the threshold is. Where the threshold is.
Because just when I think I might know, I'm like, let's do this.
let's just go for it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a little unfair because Chris's list to me this week, I have to say, I really enjoyed. So I feel like it's an unfair week for me to have been like, let's test Chris out. When I feel like you gave me such a gift.
I did. Well, my list to you this week was fun. I had a really good time putting it together, and there was it's not a big story, but it was like, me going down a new music rabbit hole of actually getting suggested new stuff. I've been making a more concerted effort to listen to some new release stuff via Spotify, giving me like, hey, here's what was released this week or this last 2 weeks in music, in metal or rock, and then I got a little nostalgia in there too. So I'll go through how these songs appeared on the list. But before we go into it, just want to remind everybody to please hit that like, follow, or subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to this, because believe it or not, I know you think that's kind of like, what does this even do? Well, I'm going to tell you what it does is it sends a signal. It's like sending a flare up to these platforms like YouTube and Apple and Spotify, and goes, wow, people like the show. And if that's the case, then the show gets pushed out there a little bit more by these platforms, and then it helps get the show discovered. So if you would please be so kind as to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button wherever you're listening or watching this show, it would be very, very appreciated. And always feel free to drop comments wherever you're watching and listening. Last week's show got some interesting comments on YouTube about our pentatonics review. So you may want to go over there and check that out. I thought that was kind of funny, which may lead me to say we may have to do an all acapella show just because there was some little controversy going on.
Oh, listen,
there was some controversy.
Do I hear a theme for next week?
Possibly. We'll have to discuss. We'll have to discuss.
I think that's great.
Yeah. So, so yes, please make sure you do that. And so without further ado, Amanda Sharp, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Your list to me this week, it is very country.
So heavy country.
I felt like I was definitely south of the border, I guess. I don't know. I was there was some country. I was out west. There was a whole thing. So I got some Blake Shelton sent to me with I Found Someone, When You Say Nothing at All, Alison Krauss and Union Station. and Heads Carolina, Tails California by Dee Messina. That was your list.
Whole
I
lot
love the
twain.
chuckling. I love the chuckling. Is that
It just really shows like this week I'm like, we're tested.
yeah, there's some testing going on.
There's some tested. And Chris's list to me this week was ABC by Polyphia.
Yes. You got it.
What? September 19th of 2020. Again, Amanda said a band name correctly.
You said a band name correctly.
Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed. And then number 3, Cages by Maggie. Is it Lindemann or Lindemann?
I think it's Lindemann. I think I'm going to go with Lindemann.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all, like I said, very fun songs you sent me this week, Chris Maglio.
Well, I'm glad you had fun. I had fun putting it together, and I was like, I think Amanda's really gonna like this playlist this week. So.
I love it. Well, you know, so speaking of, I'm just gonna dive into your first song choice.
Let's
I'm just
go.
gonna go
Let's
right
go.
into it. ABC by
Let's do it.
Polyphia. I was not expecting this at all. Like I started it, and I was like, "What is this amazingness that's entering my ears?"
Yeah.
Because it jumps right into a super fun beat. The beat is like phenomenal. And I had to ask, like,
every word is right. That's a lot of letters. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. 911, hello, it's me, Sophia. Yes, this is an emergency. Yes, they
so
need to put it down.
that's like Amanda's version of rap.
I was gonna say I knew that you were gonna dig this song.
That's like all I got when I can rap. Like and the tone of it like was really like in my range of being able to rap too.
Yeah.
I have different levels of being able to rap. It's just, I mean, it's very like obviously like it's a big production on this. There's a lot of layers. So like I don't know like how quality of a voice they actually have because you can tell there's a lot of like Britney Spearing going on. You know,
yeah, I'll have to give you some background about Polyphia.
But I thought it was fun. I thought it was right up my alley. I am absolutely putting this on another playlist, not just the playlist that's currently on the Chris and Amanda playlist, but it's super fun. Like I have to we're doing a little car ride to go to a Con Ed today, and I think I'm going to put it on the car for the ladies.
Nice. Let's see how they dig it.
They're going to be impressed that I'm going to play that.
I think so. Well, they're going to be like, wow, this is super hip, Amanda. Like this is you being in the know by playing this song. By the way,
the tea. Who did this playlist for you?
That's right. That's right. You're gonna be like,
they're gonna know. They're just gonna know.
How did you get this song? So the funny thing about Polyphia is that if you go back and listen, I mean, they are an all instrumental band made up of 4 guys, all really young, insanely talented. So all their music is instrumental. But what they've really done, and you can go back and look to see, like, really they make like nerd music, right? It's just completely like noodly and like super nerd instrumental stuff, like total geek, like prog metal or whatever you want to call it. And they have evolved so much over from record to record. And what's also makes them cool is like they've kind of made this like, whereas like which traditionally like extremely nerdy and like only guys listen to, have become like a band that really appeals to everybody, even though it's instrumental because of their look, their image, their marketing. They keep pushing themselves outside of the box where like normally like these types of bands don't do that.
Sure.
And on their latest record coming out, this is the first single off their new record. And this record, they've collaborated with a lot of just up and coming artists like Sophia Black.
Yeah.
Who is, she's like a pop star, but she's up and coming. But she's what also makes her unique is that she's like multilingual. She's like Japanese and Native American, and like so she appeals to like, so it's just great. And I love that a band like this, that once again is traditionally like, you know, they make nerd music, like is saying, well, we're gonna still do nerd music and have a lot of things going on, but we're going to bring a lot of this pop sensibility into it and like actually write instrumental songs that are kind of like based off of like pop songwriting. It's really great what they've been doing. And this song, I heard this song over like last week and I was like, this is great. And then I started diving into more of their stuff and realized they were mostly an instrumental band. actually like 99.9% of their songs are instrumental, but this new record coming out is like them collaborating with like different singers and and hip hop. It's gonna be, I'm really excited to hear what this whole record's gonna be like.
That's so exciting. I feel like this could have been like back in the day when I was like, at the skating rink. Like this could have been like
Yes.
a fun skating song. It's just very cool.
Yes.
I like this is not a 5 record song because this isn't a classic. This
Right.
is not a classic.
No.
However, it is a solid 4 record. And I would argue probably like 4.2, 4.4, like definitely above because I just think it has a lot of amazing fun elements that I think people, if it pops on, people are going to do some bopping.
Yep.
It's a fun ditty.
Yes, it is. I agree
Fun
with you.
ditty.
And it's a great single. I really enjoy it a lot. It's opened me up to this band, and this is new. Like I've not been a Polyphia fan for years.
Sure.
Like literally been a fan of this song and like going back in their catalog for like a week. Like that's
Love it.
that. And so I was like, I want to introduce you to. I thought this
I'm
was cool. I
excited.
think you would think it was cool, and I think you're gonna love diving in now to their catalog.
I can't
And
wait.
you're gonna be like, oh my god! And like the playing is insane, and also their music videos are funny. Like they, once again, bands like this normally take themselves super seriously because they're like,
Sure.
all they really care about is the music, and like sort of like the
Mhm.
rest is like whatever. But like these guys are actually like doing really fun videos and like putting thought. Like this video is like fun, and it kind of feels like video. It's cool. I
I'll
say
have to
watch the music video. Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
great.
you'll dig
I
it.
mean, thank you so much for sending it to me, and I can't wait to go down that rabbit hole and maybe confuse Spotify a little bit with my
Maybe.
algorithm.
Ooh, you'll start getting some
They're gonna
interesting
go,
stuff sent to you.
ooh, Amanda.
Yeah. And by the way, this song, just so everybody kind of knows, like, if you go on Spotify, a lot of times you could see like where, like how many downloads a song has had or how many
Yeah.
streams a song has had. And this song in particular, the ABC song, has had over 2 million streams. 2,196,680 plays on Spotify. So for a band like this to have that many is crazy. So
You just never know.
no,
And just saying, after our show, they might have 3 million.
well, they might. People are gonna
Mhm.
all the millions of people that listen to us.
All
will
of the
hear this and say,
millions.
we gotta get on. We gotta get on a Polyphia train.
So thanks again for a
Yes.
great song. And
You are welcome.
a good education about this band. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
hearing that too.
You are welcome. So your next, so I'm gonna go through your first song. So your first song to me was Blake Shelton's "I Found Someone."
Yeah, you even said it like with a slight take. I found someone.
I found someone. So Blake Shelton. So he's I get
picked up the phone.
I get that he's like a huge country star,
Mhm.
right? Was he on one of those
I know
shows
it
too,
feels
like The Voice or
forever
something?
since
Or
I heard
Yeah.
your
oh, he is.
voice.
Okay, so that's like the same guy I'm thinking of here.
So we
I'll
talked
be honest, like I don't like all of his
till
songs.
she said I better
I really
go.
enjoy this one.
So this song to me is the personification of every country song that I've heard.
Okay.
So it just it's all right. I listen. Blake Shelton's a huge star, so what do I know? But like,
Right.
so I will say that there's things about the song I like. I think Blake Shelton's got a really cool voice.
Mhm.
I do. I like the quality of his voice, and I think that this song would probably be a good Sunday. It would make the Sunday morning playlist song. Okay.
Let's make it a list.
I did find out, I didn't realize this, but this was actually the B-side, or it was a bonus track on his album, based on a true story. And I think like most country songs, it tells a story.
Mhm.
So the story is that it's a song about a phone call between two exes who went through a presumably difficult breakup and are talking to each other for the first time after a long period of silence. In the conversation, the two are cordial to each other and are catching up. At the end of the conversation, one mentions that it's been tough at times, but they have found someone new, but there's no hard feelings, and the ex will still hold a place in their heart.
Mhm.
This sounds like every rom-com like movie or a potential like Hallmark like Christmas movie of some sort, like
But you know what I really like about this particular one is
right,
when he's saying it, like he had found himself.
right.
Like he didn't expect to find himself looking in the mirror, and like it took that time, that
Right.
separation to actually find out who he
Mhm.
was. And so I just like that message. So sometimes you have to
Right.
be like alone to really
Yeah.
discover who you actually are.
So I will say, out of the 3 songs that you sent me, this is probably the one that I like the most.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
It
not surprised. Okay.
because it's got it's like I would put this on, and now you let me know if I'm wrong about this, but I would probably classify this as country pop. Is this more country? Is this what you
I
would
would,
consider more country pop?
it's interesting because you listen to it and it doesn't like just scream, like his voice is very clean for a country
Right.
singer. So
It is very clean.
I don't know if I'd go like pop because like maybe like Taylor Swift is a little bit more country pop, like in some
Mhm.
ways she's pop, but then her country
Right.
was country pop. So I yes and no at the same time.
Okay.
He's in an interesting lane.
Okay. So I can't get the song's not exactly a 4 for me,
Totally
but
fair.
it's not a 3. So
Oh,
because I
okay.
think the song's catchy. Like I like the
Mhm.
structure of the song, and his voice isn't rough. Like it's a smooth song.
Mhm.
So I would probably stick this into a 3.5 or a 3.6. Actually, I'll be comfortable giving it a 3.6.
And this is why I do testing
3.6.
songs
Yeah.
because I feel like that's higher than I
Mhm.
expected.
And if I was feeling a little more emo, it might score higher. But I wasn't feeling super emo
Okay.
this weekend.
Okay.
So it's why. So maybe during the winter or whatever, when I'm getting a little more of the
Mm,
emo feels, it might
yeah.
rank a little higher. But that's why it'll go on a Sunday morning playlist,
I
which is a
like
good
this.
playlist to have. That as it gets colder out, that playlist goes on more, especially on Sunday mornings. Hence the Sunday morning playlist.
Okay. Okay. This is helpful. This is
Yeah.
good homework.
So, some good data there for you.
Yes, very good data. All right. Okay, so 3.6, not even like just 3. I like this. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly. All right.
Well, Chris's number 2 song to me was Eastbound and Down by Jerry Reed.
Oh
I
my God.
mean, listen.
Eastbound and
I
down, loading
mean,
up and trucking. Are we gonna
like,
do what they say can't be
look at
done?
his smile, Chris.
We've got a long way to go, and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just like no bandit run.
Oh my God.
I
So good.
mean, does this
So good.
I mean, how do you not just smile and be happy?
Oh my God. This song's great. This song's great. And so I was feeling very nostalgic this weekend because Smokey and the Bandit is in my top 20 films.
Sure.
Not an amazing piece of cinema, depending on how you look at it, but
Sure.
man, is it fun to watch.
Mhm.
And I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts this weekend, Shout at the Movies. I'm going to give those guys props because
Mhm.
I think what they do is great.
Yep.
And so I listened to the Smokey and the Bandit episode, and listening to that again, I made me so nostalgic again for Smokey and the Bandit because I don't think I'd watched it in like a year. I
Sure.
usually try to watch it once a year. So I watched it and I was like, oh, it's so good. And Jerry Reed wrote all the songs that they use in the movie. And
I didn't know that.
this is the theme song for
Mhm.
Smokey and a Bandit. And it literally is the entire plot of the movie. When you listen to the lyrics, it's the entire plot of the film, which, if you guys don't know the plot of the film, I highly recommend you go to watch it because it's truly amazing. But you know what? A little bit too. I just wanted to give you something. This song actually spent 16 weeks on the U.S. country music charts, reaching number 2, and also reached number 3 for bubbling under Hot 100 on Billboard.
Hot 100.
Hot 100.
Hot 100.
Yeah,
It just, I mean, what a fun song. You cannot, this is a toe tapper, smile getter. Like,
it is.
I challenge anyone to listen to this and not like smirk or put a big old smile or just start moving. I mean, it's just this is an Amanda hype you up song where like
It
Chris
is.
has other hype up songs. Like this is like you put this on and I am like, I've got energy.
Energy. I love it.
Not just energy. Like
Energy.
it's great. So like the lyrics are fantastic. I mean, everything about this song is fantastic. It's one of those I'm conflicted because is it a 5 record? I feel like it could be, but is it more of like a just under like a 4.8 because to compare it with another 5? I don't know.
Right.
So I just, but you know what? I just talked myself into it. I'm making it 5 just because it makes me so happy. I was gonna do like a 4.6, but you know what? Like when you just clicked it on again, like the smile that came across my
So
face,
great.
there's no denying 5.
It's so good, and I don't, like I said, and here's the thing too. I don't know. Can you? I try to separate the song from the movie, which is impossible because it literally is the theme song from
Right.
Smokey and the Bandit, right?
Yep.
So, but I can't not listen to the song and think of the movie and how happy that movie makes me and how awesome this song is. It's like, it's great. So you know what? I'm gonna take your 5, and I agree with you. It is a 5 song. It is a 5 record song. 5 record song. I agree with you.
Yeah, bonus points for energy. Like really.
So
just
have you seen Smokey and the Bandit in a while?
It's been years.
Now, did you ever so being a kid growing up and watching that, right? Like one of the things that came out of it, and it was sort of part of that late 70s, right? Was sort of being like getting on the CB radio and having like a name and trucker name and all that. Like, did you ever like screw around with CB radios or like trucker or have a
No, but okay, so funny. There's did you ever watch Last Man Standing? Kind of sort
the
of.
movie?
No, the series with Tim Allen.
Oh, no.
Okay, so there's an episode. Mandy's one of the daughters. She gets her phone taken away, her computer taken away because she needs to finish a report. And so she finds her dad's CB radio in the basement.
Right.
And so she ends up like communicating with people that way. And I'm like, that is so me. Like where there's a will, there is a way. I'm going to be communicating. Yeah. But in all of that, I never assigned myself a name.
I was just going to say, what do you think your name would be? Because I actually have a trucker handle generator.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. So
what would yours be?
According to this, right? Here's what your trucker handle name would be. So basically you take the month you were born in and the first letter of your last name.
All right.
So you would be July. It says all right. So for July, it's Muddy. And first letter of your last name, S. So Scratch. So you would be Muddy Scratch.
Muddy Scratch coming in.
Or if we used your maiden name, then we could do that too. What is your maiden name? Patrick. So let's see. So you would be Muddy Hustler.
That's kind of fitting.
So Muddy Scratch or Muddy Hustler, depending on which one you want to use.
Muddy Hustler coming in.
So I would be March is Hoodwinked and V. So I'd be Hoodwinked Donkey. What is that? What's your trucker? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
I love this. This is great.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny.
I'll have to send. We'll have to post this.
You have to put the link in the comments of like the videos and stuff.
I'll have to do that.
What is your trucker name?
That would be your trucker name.
What was the trucker's name in Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure? Gosh, what was
Large Marge?
Large Marge.
Tell him Large Marge sent you.
Gosh, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, I was like, where are we even at? We're having so much fun.
I know. All right, so you just did Eastbound and Down. You gave me 5 stars. So your next song to me is "When You Say Nothing at All" by Alison Krauss and Union Station. Or I guess Union Station's the band that she. Yeah. So I thought this was a pretty cool song.
Because I almost thought we did this one already, but we did Whiskey Lullaby.
Yeah, so this is actually a cover. Did you know this was a cover?
I did.
All right, so I didn't know that. So it says "When You Say Nothing at All." It's a cover of the same song, and it was written by Paul Overstreet and Don Schlitz, 2 songwriters responsible for Randy Travis's #1 hit "Forever and Ever Amen." And it's also let's see. It said they actually first came up with the lyrics by accident, which I kind of fun. So this is on wideopencountry.com is where I'm reading this from. So it says the lyrics first came to Overstreet and Schlitz almost by accident. They were having an otherwise unproductive day, just playing guitar and trying to find inspiration. According to Overstreet, the lyrics are born in an attempt to find a way to say nothing. They pitched it to Keith Whiteley, who loved it and immediately needed to record it. So Keith Whiteley's, I think I'm saying that right, original was the first to make the ballad a country hit. The song was the country singer's first number one back in 1988 and is still widely regarded as one of his greatest hits. And then Alison Krauss followed it with a cover for a compilation tribute to Whitley, who passed away from alcohol poisoning in 1989, Keith Whitley, a tribute album. Her version started getting airplay, so B&A Records, the label who had released the album, decided to formally release the Krauss version as a radio single in 1995. The success caught Krauss by surprise. It peaked at number 3 on Billboard's Hot Country Singles chart, and she even won the 1995 CMA Award for Single of the Year with this song.
It's so... her voice is like butter.
So, I like her voice.
So good. This is
I like her voice.
The karaoke song for me.
This is it?
This is the main one.
Ooh, go-to.
This is my go-to. And
This is your standard go-to.
This is my standard song. And when I used to go all the time,
Yeah.
it was a bad habit for a while. There would be another girl. This was her song. And so it would be like, we would look at each other like, crap. And whoever could get to that table first and write it down got to sing it. I mean, she did it good too. But man, like when it's your song and it's somebody else's song, we never sang it together. That seemed a little too logical, apparently.
Right. I guess you guys could have just duetted. It probably would have been awesome.
Absolutely. But oh gosh, her voice, just love it.
So agree. She's got an amazing voice, and I've heard Alison Krauss and other stuff that she's done. I've heard the stuff. I'm pretty sure she did stuff with Robert Plant and things like that. I thought was kind of cool. And yeah, it's just she's great musician, awesome singer, songwriter. I will say the song for me was kind of like, I get it. It's a country ballad. It's a very popular song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's really like my thing. So I don't know. Just I kept listening to it over and over again. It just was like not hitting me.
So it's the song more than the singer.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't want to take it. No, her voice is ridiculous. And I've heard other Alison Krauss stuff and I'm not saying I hate this song. It's not that at all. But it's not like, I don't know. It's not catching me.
Okay.
So, but I want to be very respectful. So it's not like it's not awful or anything like that. But I got to take into account, like, would I listen to this song, right? So that's always part of this. Would I put this on anything? Would I go back and listen to it? And it probably would come on a radio or something, and I'm not going to say, oh, God, turn that off. But I don't think I'm voluntarily going to put this on anything or like, groove to it. Or I don't know if it would go on the Sunday playlist. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I don't know if I like it enough to go on the Sunday playlist yet.
That's fair.
So I'm going to give it a respectful 3 records. I know it's a very popular song, and I take that into account, but I'm going on my own personal preference. So I'm going to give it a 3 records because it's not a terrible song by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, it's not something I think I'm going to put on. So that's why I'm going to give it a 3 records.
Hey, as long as it's not a 2 with in the same category as Uptown Girl, I can handle that.
No, this is way better than Uptown Girl. Uptown Girl's just cornball music.
No, I respect your 3 records because it is very much a love ballad, like no doubt. And is it my favorite of all of her songs? Probably not, even though I love karaokeing to it.
Right. I think it's a sweet song. I just not like into it. I don't know.
I really enjoy her duets. I think they're just, they're so good. But I really so I respect the 3, and I thank you for that 3. Thank you.
You are welcome. You are very welcome.
More information for future shows that I'm digesting. Lots to digest. Yes. Because I can't crack. I'm trying to crack the Chris Vaglio code.
The Chris Vaglio code.
Yeah, it's there. I'm piecing it away. 2 years in, we're piecing it away.
There you go.
All right. Your third and final song to me, Chris Vaglio, was Cages by Maggie Lindemann. It's yeah.
You condescend and undertone, so overplay, leave me alone. Hate me, but
So good.
It's so sassy. It is like, you know who it makes me think of? Like Avril, is it Avril Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne, yeah, and
Thank
that's
you.
actually was the inspiration. Was Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy was like her inspiration for
I
this, and the video
absolutely,
was even like that too. So the video's
I
fun.
that makes sense then, because as soon as I heard it, I could tell that it wasn't. But I'm like, it's got that like edge, that punk, that spunkiness. Yeah, the sad. It's fun.
So much fun.
And
Yeah.
it's got some naughty words in it. It's got the F word, the F
Yes,
word in it. But
does.
you know what? She means it.
She means it. She's not
means
just she's
it.
not just singing it. She means it when she says
She
it.
absolutely owns that word in this song.
Yeah.
And I really thought the lyrics were fantastic. Lions weren't made for cages. Let me live my life. And like, you hate me, but you watch me. Like, it's so relevant to life.
It really is.
It's so spunky. How old is she?
She's young. I think she's like I don't know. I'd be surprised if she's
Maybe
like
early
21.
20s.
Yeah.
Early 20s. So I just think I'm curious to see where life's gonna take her if she stays in the business.
So the whole record, I guess, got dropped at the same time the single came out. So I got to listen to the whole record.
Oh, I thought you meant like they dropped her. I was like, what?
No. Like they dropped the
this
single
song.
and then they dropped the record. So I think it all got dropped
How
together.
dare them?
Yeah, no.
How dare you drop that baby? I'm curious to see some of her other songs to see if I enjoy
Right.
the rest of the album. I just appreciated this and I thought it was super fun. Again, I loved her edge, the little raw, like, because she's just like a sassy little firecracker who's singing.
Yeah,
She's singing this with passion. So
she is.
she's feeling this. And now that we're older than we're probably double her age.
I can
feel like
respect it though. I love it.
I do too. Like, we would sing this with such a different tone about it.
Exactly. What I love is I love seeing like young people. I love
Yeah.
seeing young people like get into like big sounding like fun rock,
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it. I don't even care. It's just fun, and I like that. And I like that it doesn't all have to just be hip hop. But I also like how I like it when artists like this they combine the different genres.
Yeah.
They don't care. They'll make a whole record, and it'll be different things and just things that they like. I love that. I think it's great. I'm all for it. I don't want to be one of these old curmudgeons who are like, oh my God, she's just doing like Avril Lavigne, and Avril Lavigne just did like who cares? Who cares?
Well,
It's music. Let's enjoy it.
let's not forget how much later this is than Avril. It's not like she's doing it
Oh my God.
alongside when she was doing
Yeah,
that. Like,
exactly.
at all. And
Yeah.
when I hear her singing this, like imagine like after you record this, how like boom, like how like you go, God, I feel like the weight of the world's been off me. Like you just said,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm done. Like how awesome. Like it had to feel the purge that attitude through this song. So I just think it's probably very therapeutic for a lot of people to listen to this, sing it in the car,
Yeah.
go into their job.
Yeah.
I think it's a great song. It's not quite like all the way up there for me, even though I appreciate it so much, because I don't think it's 4 yet in my head,
Right.
even though I really think it's fun. So I'm going to put it like a 3.8, 3.9 even, but not quite a 4.
I think that's very respectable for new. I mean, I hadn't heard the song until this last week, and that was just I became an earworm for me, and I'm really grooving it. And I want to check out the rest of the record. The record's called Sucker Punch.
How fitting.
That's the name of the record. And apparently, I guess a lot of it sounds kind of like this. I mean, it was this was co-written with Goldfinger, John Feldman, and Aussie indie rocker Alex Leahy, and songwriter Rachel West, who's also written songs for Machine Gun Kelly and worked with Travis Barker. So she's got a great team of songwriters working with her. So I think it's great. I'm excited to listen to the rest of the record, and we'll see how it goes. But the song Cages,
Super
I think it's
fun.
cool. And I agree with your assessment. I think I would put it in the same rating as that. I don't know if it's quite a 4, but it's really fun. We'll see how long it sticks around for me. But like,
Yeah.
I like the energy.
Absolutely. And I don't think I'd be in the mood to listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's a fun
Right.
just song. So well done. Maggie, and I love her name Maggie because that's
So do I.
an old traditional name that like you wouldn't think little Maggie would be singing words
Right.
with F, like songs with F words in it.
Yeah.
So thanks for the share though. It's great.
You are welcome. You're welcome. So your final song to me was Dee Messina's Heads Carolina, Tails California. I feel like you send me like variations of this song. I don't
And
know.
I did a recap on this because of the other song that we had a
Right.
couple weeks back. And I was like,
That's what I
you
thought.
know what? We should have our listeners and Chris listen to the original so you can see how it was really played off.
one horse
Yeah.
town like two rebels without a car.
And I gotta say, I like this song.
I've got people in
Yeah.
Boston. Ain't your daddy still?
This is a cool song. It's cool.
We can pack up
It's
tomorrow.
fun.
It is.
Like-
It's a fun song.
I love how free, like, and like, let's get some coin. Life will figure it out.
It's a great chorus. So the song spent 23 weeks on the Hot 100 singles chart and peaked at the #1 spot
I didn't realize that. Well done, Jody.
when this was released. So this came off her self-titled debut album. And the song is about a woman proposing that she and her partner escape to a new city. There you go. I love, and I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
I think everyone's just kind of been like, man, where would we go if we just up and moved?
Yeah, I agree. And
So-
I think about this all the time. So
I know.
the song was written by Mark D. Sanders and Tim Nichols. And it said a book was what inspired them. So the book they started writing the song to after listening to the book on tape was The Bridges of Madison County. And Nichols was so inspired by what the author wrote that he wanted to listen to another one of his books. So he said he wrote that he revealed that which book on tape he listened to, which was what the book on tape inspired the song Heads Carolina, Tails California. He goes, this was an interview he did with The Outside. So I listened to that and I was like, okay, cool. Then I was like, well, what else has he got? And I picked up this book called Border Music, said Nichols. And Nichols said he had about a 20-minute drive home from work back every day. And during this time, he listened to Border Music on tape. The main character's name was Texas Jack Carmine, and things were not going well for him in Texas. So he decided he needed to leave Texas in the way he was going to decide where he was going to go. Was he was going to flip a coin. Heads was he was going to California, and tails he was going to Mexico. So that's kind of where the inspiration of the song came from, was by starting with listening to Bridges of Madison County and then leading to listening to Border Music, all books on audio. And that's where
That is so
the song
interesting.
and was inspired by. Isn't that cool? That's a cool story. So
Very
cool.
cool.
I dig the song. I mean, I think it's cool. You know, I love the pop feel to it. I think it's a catchy song. I mean, I don't know if I would. It's tough because I'm like, would I go back and listen to the song? Once again, I would never turn it off. I think it'd be fun to listen to in some parts of like whatever I'm doing. I'm gonna go with a 3.8 though, because I'm not quite sure if I would go back and listen to this, but it is. I give it a 3.8 record. Well written song. I mean, it's cool to listen to. It's no Eastbound and Down.
This is true.
I mean, if it wasn't Smokey and a Bandit, maybe, but no, it's a fun song. It is a fun song, so that's why I give it a 3.8. It's so much better than Uptown Girl.
I was not sure how you were going to rate this one, and I shared it truly mostly because I wanted the other version of the song that we discussed a few weeks back just to be in your ear. So it shows what a fun playoff of the other song, and like hearing someone karaoke that up on the stage would be fun and captivating.
I think this would definitely be a fun karaoke song. I can see a bunch of people getting up and singing it. I can see you up there singing this one.
Yep.
When I come to visit you, we're gonna do karaoke.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Amazing.
So. Well, this was a great show. Lots of great music. I think we talked about lots of great music we shared with one another. Of course, once again, if everybody wants to listen to the songs that we just sampled very quickly and talked about, go to our Spotify playlist and listen to them right there. They're all right there. The minute you hit the playlist, the new songs are always the first 6 songs at the top of the playlist, so you don't have to go searching through the whole thing. But if you listen to older versions, then you may have to do some searching. But I just use the search function inside the playlist, and you'll find the songs. But yeah, please go over there. You could use the link in the show notes and the video description below to get access to our Spotify playlist, the Chris and Amanda Show 2022 playlist. This was a really fun show, Amanda Sharp. Thank you so much for sharing some great new tunes with me. I really appreciate you. And we appreciate you for hanging out with us and spending some time. And we love it. So please make sure you hit that follow, like, subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to this, as once again, it does help the show grow. If you'd like to leave some comments or even leave us a review, that would be very, very appreciated. We would appreciate you forever. And also head over to our socials at Instagram or TikTok at the Chris and Amanda Show. Go to them both or go to one of them and hit a follow button there. So that way you guys get notified, because we're always putting content that is just exclusive to those platforms up. Man and I make reels and all kinds of posts. So go up there and check that out, because we do have fun with it.
It's obnoxious fun, but it's fun.
But it's fun. Exactly. It is tons of fun. So if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can go over and call our hotline at 973-506-8009, 973-506-8009, and hit that +1 if you're outside the United States. Leave us a voicemail. We will play it on the show. Amanda Sharp, any final words?
This was super fun. Thank you so much for sending me such a fun list of songs. I will definitely be listening to these long term. So great.
Awesome. Well, thank you all once again for listening to the Chris and Amanda Show. We appreciate you. And if you want to hang out with us live, come back next Monday, 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on Facebook and Twitch. And you can hang out with us live. If not, we appreciate you. Watch the replays and listen to the replays wherever you get podcasts. All right. That's that.
Good show.
Good show.
A wrap.
As I'm looking for our outro. There it is. Cue the outro, Chris. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.